Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. Today on the program, victory for Senator Antonio Trillanes.
Judge Soriano na single-handedly he upheld justice and the rule of law in our country.
After a regional court junks the petition demanding for his arrest.
What we see is two co-equal courts contradicting one another.
But the decision also upholds the presidential proclamation voiding his amnesty. And the Justice Department believes the fight is far from over.
Precisely, the court said the proclamation voiding his amnesty is void. So, what will be the legal basis for Trillanes to be shouting with joy?
Former Senator and AFP Chief Rodolfo Biazon and constitutionalist Father Ranillo Aquino join us live. And later, headless chicken monster, a rare discovery that you shouldn't be afraid of. That's for today's In Focus. Thank you for joining us. I'm Pinky Webb. The Office of the Solicitor General will go to the Court of Appeals, hoping to get a reversal of the Makati Regional Trial Court Branch 148's decision on the case of Senator Antonio Trillanes. Trillanes on Monday says the court's decision is a victory for justice and the rule of law after it junked the Justice Department's petition to issue an arrest warrant for the senator's dismissed coup d'etat case. Meanwhile, the Justice Department says the case is far from over and they are ready to exhaust all legal remedies. Let's go straight to the source of the story. He's a former senator and Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief Rodolfo Pong Biazon. Senator, good to see you again. It's been quite a while. Sir, kamusta na ho kayo?
Okay naman, I am enjoying my APOs.
Your apos?
Yes.
Ilan na ho ba apo ninyo?
11.
Naku, ang dami na.
Yes.
Well, all right. It's good that you enjoy it. You've served the country for how long, sir?
Oh, more than 60 years.
60 years.
About 40 years as a soldier and 21 years as a legislator. And somewhere there, you throw in some consultancy positions.
Senator, I wanted to ask you first and foremost, you've been quite vocal about this amnesty, the revocation of the amnesty on Senator Antonio Trillanes. Sabi niyo po, if I remember well, that the President cannot unilaterally do this.
That is
Ganun po
correct.
yung inyong naging posisyon. So, because you said that it needs Congress's approval.
That is correct.
What's your reaction on Judge Andres Soriano's decision not to issue an arrest warrant?
Well, it is a welcome development because when the President withdrew his order of arrest without warrant to give way for the rule of law, he said that. That's that's done. And now the ruling of the court came in.
Yeah.
But this thing is not yet over. We have, kasi there are two issues in this issue, in this conversation. The first issue is the order of arrest, and the President allowed the rule of law to step in, and so he withdrew his order of arrest. But the more fundamental issue to be resolved here is the issue of the validity of the grant of amnesty. You have to remember, Pinky, that the grant of amnesty is a shared power. But in the same way as a lot of things are shared powers between the executive, the legislature, and even the Supreme Court. Kaya nandiyan yung tinatawag na check and balance.
Balances.
So, here we have to have a resolution. And the resolution, I think, by the judiciary will have to be to go up as far as high up as the Supreme Court. So nandoon pa yan. So this thing
May
is not
question
yet
pa doon
over.
before the Supreme Court. That's right. Because it is what? How would you describe it? Victory for now? A temporary victory for Senator Antonio Trillanes, maybe?
Well, it's a relief for him insofar as the other issue is concerned. And the first issue is the issue of him being arrested. All right? But the second issue And to me, that is more fundamental to the principle of check and balance, which is the sharing of power in the grant of amnesty between the legislature and the executive. As a matter of fact, it does not even stop there. It can still go up to the Supreme Court, which is now the case.
Yes, because that is the petition, isn't it,
Yes.
filed by the senator before the Supreme Court?
Yes.
And the Supreme Court said, I'm going to remand that, this is how I understand it, Senator, to the RTC, look into the factual issues.
That is correct.
So that's what Judge Andres Soriano resolved.
Exactly. On the issue of arrest,
Yes.
the other half of his decision, which is the validity or legality of Proclamation 572, is another issue.
That's where I
And
wanted to
that
go.
has got to be resolved in the
By-
Supreme Court.
By the Supreme
By the
Court.
Supreme Court.
Okay, but it is, so when they say that, when you have presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo saying that, and even DOJ Secretary Menardo Guevara saying that this is not a victory for Senator Antonio Trillanes, you believe that?
Not a total victory.
Not a total victory. Actually,
it
you're
is
right.
a
that's-
relief. It is a relief on the issue of him being ordered to be arrested.
Yep.
You know, the president said, okay, I issued the order of arrest without warrant. But he withdrew it and said, we will allow the rule of law to prevail. And the rule of law comes in the form of a court ruling on the order of arrest.
Exactly. But here's another question, Senator. What are your thoughts on, you have Judge Soriano saying, looking into the factual issues, at sinabi po niya na nag-apply si Senator Trillanes, nag-admit ng guilt si Senator Trillanes, yet you have 150 under Judge Alameda, Elmo Alameda, saying that issuing an arrest order against Senator Trillanes. And the fact is, how I understand it, was that the evidence presented to both 148 and 150 are the same.
Okay. You are right, no? That they are supposed to be the same. So, which of the two judges are correct? That is the question. Because, of course, yung kaso kay Alameda is the case of rebellion. The more serious offense is coup d'etat. So, pero all of this is dependent on a resolution of the question of validity of the grant of amnesty.
Doon pa rin babagsak.
Doon pa rin babagsak. And that's the reason why we need the Supreme Court to provide the resolution to this issue. Because to me, this issue goes beyond the personality of Senator Trillanes.
Or President Rodrigo Duterte.
Yes. This goes into the heart of a basic fundamental principle of sharing of power. Sharing of power comes in many forms, like the budget, grant of amnesty, and the other one is treaty.
Martial law, sir.
Martial law, which hindi porke sinabi ng presidente, eto na, yun na.
Opo.
Hindi eh. Because in most cases, there is a sharing of power among the three branches of government in the resolution of a particular issue.
And again, that's because to institute checks and balances
That is correct.
within the government. So
That
it's
is
a
correct.
relief for the senator. Obviously, Senator Antonio Trillanes very pleased with the order
Yes.
Of the judge.
It's a relief.
It's a relief.
Not a victory, it's a relief.
But you know, Senator, when you actually talk to other people, yung in your private conversations, they're saying that itong si Judge must have undergone a lot of pressure. Ang tagal din niya pong inaral ito bago siya nag-issue
Yeah.
ng resolution. 150 was quite fast, but also maybe, sir, because this is a heavier case. It's not
Yeah.
rebellion. It's
Yeah.
in fact coup d'etat.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on his decision? Ito, si Judge Soriano, sir.
Yun nga sinasabi ko, it had provided a relief for President,
Senator Trillanes.
Trillanes, and a implementation of what the president in the first place wanted,
Yeah.
which is the rule of law. That's the reason why he withdrew his initial order for a warrantless arrest.
Yeah, but let's be frank, Senator. Obviously, the Department of Justice would have rather had this judge issue an arrest warrant and a whole departure order against the senator. That's exactly why they filed that.
Definitely. So, kaya nga sabi ni Secretary Guevara, split yung decision eh.
Yeah.
One in favor,
Yeah.
one against. But the one against is something that no one, nobody, no agency can resolve except the Supreme Court.
Let me ask you, though, how you feel about amnesties given, for example, soldiers and even to policemen with a situation like this at hand. Namemeligro ho ba ang pagbigay ng amnestia because the president can issue a proclamation order revoking it ab initio,
Yes, sir.
possibly because he did not allegedly file and he did not allegedly admit guilt?
The question now is the credibility of any resolution of the case by the Supreme Court. And central to the decision of the Supreme Court is upholding the principle of a sharing of power.
Yeah.
You know, sino ba kung mali ang amnesty granted to Trillanes, to Senator Trillanes, sino ang nagkamali doon? President Aquino issued the proclamation and granting amnesty to a class. The implementation of which came in the form of Secretary Gasmen individually naming those to be granted kasi yun ang implementation. Now, the second possible error might have come from Congress itself.
Why?
Because Congress had to concur. Congress had to concur to the proclamation. Without the concurrence, there is no proclamation.
But Senator, there was no application just yet. When President Aquino ordered the amnesty, when he directed the amnesty and Congress concurred, I think that would be in 2010. The application,
2011.
2010, sir. The application
Okay.
happened in 2011.
Exactly.
So, ibig ko sabihin, sabi ng Presidente, I'm going to grant amnesty. Sabi ng Congress, I'm just simplifying it, sir.
Concur.
Okay, game kami. Okay kami sa amnesty. 2011, sila nag-file.
Exactly.
So, why could there be possible liability in Congress? Hindi nyo naman alam, sir, sino mag-a-apply ng...
Exactly. Pero without that concurrence, there is no
True.
grant of amnesty. So, the presidential action of President Aquino and the action of Congress will have to be implemented. And that implementation comes in the form of Secretary Gasmin naming the individuals. And that came in 2011.
Yes, because it depends on who actually
Exactly.
applied for the amnesty, which, again, is the meat of the issue here because they said, government is saying that he did not apply for an amnesty. Sir, if you were to apply for an amnesty, sabihin po natin kayo, will you keep your application, sir? Because debate ho yan eh.
Yeah. Well, yes, I will if I am the but that's because of his reliance probably on the procedure being used is credible, like record keeping of the government. That the original of the amnesty application is in the custody of the government. So, naiwala ko yung aking yung sarili kong hawak, na kopya ko, pero I expect the government to be able to...
So you're saying you would have kept a copy? It's a very important document.
Yes.
You would have kept the copy. But isn't the certificate, just before we go on a break, isn't the certificate of amnesty basis, sir, that you applied for an amnesty?
Exactly.
So why would you keep a copy, sir, if a certificate of amnesty should suffice?
Exactly.
So that you're saying the amnesty certificate of amnesty, tells the public that Senator Trillanes applied, and Senator Trillanes admitted guilt. Tama ho?
Yes.
All right, we'll be taking a short break. Former Senator Adolfo Biazon will still be with us. And we'll also be joined by constitutionalist Father Ranilio Aquino. This is the SARS on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned.
Same hotel, same price? Oh, no. There are so many different prices out there all over the internet.
We're directly involved in the reception
Yeah,
of the application.
true. Okay, so wait, si Father Aquino, is he on the line?
Yes, Pinky, I'm on
Hi,
the line.
Father, how are you?
Well, fine, Pinky, fine. How are you?
Good. I'm with the Senator Pong Biazon here. We'll speak to you, Father, for maybe about 6 minutes, just to get your reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, we'll be on air in 10 seconds. You're watching the SARS on CNN Philippines. Our guest today, former Senator Adolfo Biazon, and also joining us on the line, a CONCOM member and constitutionalist Father Ranilio Aquino. Father Aquino, thank you so much for taking our call, sir.
Good morning, Pinky. Good morning.
So, I want to first get your reaction on the decision of Judge Andres Soriano, sir.
Yes. Well, like any court decision, I'm in respect of it. The only problem I have with it is that I would have found it more consistent had the Honorable Judge declared the presidential proclamation that found amnesty in respect to Senator Trillanes void as itself void. In short, the judge, to my mind, would have done better by not upholding the validity of the proclamation so that it would be consistent with his finding that Senator Trillanes was entitled to the benefits of amnesty.
So that's a conflict for you, Father?
Well, it does create some problems because the proclamation of the president, if you will recall, was not a proclamation that declared the amnesty as such void. It only said that in respect to Trillanes, the amnesty was void. See, that was the proclamation. Now, for me, I have always maintained that is not properly a matter for presidential action. That is a matter for judicial determination. So it would have been more appropriate, more proper, and to me more constitutionally correct for His Honor to have held that the proclamation itself is void and then to proceed to resolve the request for the issuance of a warrant of arrest.
If they talk about, Father, factual issues that needed to be resolved by the Makati RTC, would upholding the constitutionality of the proclamation or not be a factual issue? Or should that be resolved by the Supreme Court, Father?
Exactly. In my Facebook post, I said, Judge Alameda and Judge Soriano would have avoided this problem by deferring to the Supreme Court that is presently passing upon the constitutionality of the proclamation itself. You see, Pinky, my problem with the proclamation is that, as I said, it is not a proclamation that declared the grant of amnesty per se void. It was a proclamation that had to do with a single person, namely Senator Trillanes, declaring that the extension of amnesty to him,
Right.
or that his claim to amnesty was void.
Ab
And
initio.
the proclamation used certain factual premises. Naturally, if you sustain the proclamation, you also sustain its findings of fact.
So, when someone like Secretary Menardo Guevara says this is not a total victory for Senator Antonio Trillanes, you obviously agree, because from how I understand it, Father, and I know you explain it very well, it's as if there's a little bit of a question mark. Parang sinabi mo, Judge, na constitutional yung proclamation, pero dinenay mo yung arrest. Parang ganon.
That's correct. Well, yes, of course the Justice Secretary is correct, because from the order of the Judge Soriano, the government can always elevate the matter by any of the means that the rules provide, such as a petition for certiorari. But let me make my position clear, Pinky. I've always maintained that the proclamation is not legally correct.
Okay.
Because I do believe that declaring whether or not a person is lawfully entitled to amnesty and subsequently declaring his enjoyment of amnesty as void is properly a judicial function.
May I ask you, Father, because Senator Biazon is beside me. He
Good
raised,
morning, Senator. Good morning.
Good morning po.
Father, he raises a point as this, that the President has no power to unilaterally revoke an amnesty. As such, it needs the concurrence, it needs the permission, it needs the Congress to be able to do such a thing.
There is American jurisprudential support for that position. In fact, if you read the section on executive on pardons and acts of clemency, including amnesty, in that multi-volumed work entitled American Jurisprudence, the entry is very clear that amnesty cannot be unilaterally revoked. It cannot be revoked out of hand. There has to be a procedure for that, which may involve Congress.
But then again, Father, baka sabihin nila that's America jurisprudence.
Well,
but of course,
our rules are closely cued according to American law, and there is no due Philippine precedent. And usually, Pinky, in Philippine law, when we have no Philippine precedent to go by, we use American precedent. So that's not unheard of.
baka lang ho kasi tanungin, it's really because much of our laws and Constitution is really based on American laws.
Yes.
All right, so Father, what could possibly be the next move? Malacanang is saying possibly the CA. Another source is telling me they might go to the Supreme Court because they did not remand this to the CA. They remanded it to the RTC. What kind of future, or what are we going to see in the next couple of days, you think?
Well, I will expect, of course, that the Department of Justice will bring this up. I predict that it will bring this up to the Supreme Court, because the question here is a pure question of law. And so I think that they'll bring it up. Of course, there are factual questions involved, like did he file or did he not file? But intrinsically connected with those questions are questions of law, like reliance on secondary evidence, things like that. So I think it will go up to the Supreme Court. But you see, Pinky, the problem is that's going to overlap with an action now pending in the Supreme Court. There's an action pending there now,
Yeah. All right, Father Aquino, maraming salamat po sa inyo, and we wish to speak to you again.
Yes, Pinky, always a pleasure to talk to you. Good morning, Senator. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Senator,
umaga po.
ano po
Yes.
palagay niyo dun sa sinabi ni Father Aquino? Did he explain that? Pareho.
Yes.
Pareho po ang inyong...
This is a fundamental issue on in a democratic system where checks and balances are provided for. As a matter of fact, I see this as a very good example of the shared powers. I'll give you an example, if I may. In 1991, the military basis agreement had to be terminated or was on its termination period. President Aquino wanted the extension of the military basis agreement for 10 years. But she could not decide it alone.
On her own.
It had to be referred to the Senate, which shared the
Nandun kayo
power
nun.
of the treaties.
Yeah.
No? on the ratification of treaties and extension of treaties, etc., etc. President Aquino was pushing it. The Senate said no. Pinalayas natin yung Amerikano.
Right. I remember that,
So
sir.
this is a shared power.
Okay, very quickly, sir, what do you think as such what happened to Senator Antonio Trillanes, how this will impact on other amnesties? Ano
That's going to be another question. For example, was the process used for the determination of the validity of grant of amnesty to Trillanes different from the others, like Paeldon, etc., etc.?
Maestre Campo?
I heard something mentioned that Trillanes is singled out because he was the leader.
Yes.
If you might remember, I was there in the Oakwood.
I do remember.
And I had to call somebody else for the group of Trillanes, Gambala, Maestre Campo, Paeldon, etc., to allow me to go up to talk to them. I had to call somebody.
So, who is the leader?
I will not tell you.
And it's not, what you're saying
I
is...
cannot.
No, what you're saying is it's not Trillanes. Senator Trillanes.
He may not be. It may be somebody outside of, for example, maybe the one I was talking to, because I asked, I have no contact with the people upstairs. Can you get in touch with them?
Yes, yes.
And this guy,
yes.
called by telephone.
Is it this guy, sir? It's this guy. Okay, all right. Anyway, we can't name that.
Because this is, it's unfair for this
Absolutely, of course, sir. One last question, sir, because we have to let you go. Just thoughts on extending a possible extension of martial law in Mindanao. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Do you agree or not?
This is also a shared power. Remember that the president may, being the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, may call out the armed forces of the Philippines to suppress lawless violence, rebellion, invasion. Only in the case of rebellion and invasion requires the concurrence of Congress, and for a period of time only.
Of course,
and
yes.
if there are extensions, it needs a go signal
from Congress again.
From
but
Congress.
do you think it should be extended? That's my question, sir. Sa palagay niyo po?
Well, I have yet to see an exact implementation of that power because yung suspension of the writ of habeas corpus, no? That is that is central to that issue. I have yet to see that anyone arrested had to put under that system. Kasi, may limitation eh. You are arrested under that declaration of suspension of the writ of habeas. You must be charged within 3 days.
Yes, tama.
Or else you are released.
All right, sir. Wala na po tayong oras. Pasensya na po. But I'm so happy to see you again. And thank you so much, Senator, for joining us. Thank you to Senator Rodolfo Pong Biazon. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Still to come. We have to show this. Is it a chicken or a sea cucumber? Find out the real nature of the so-called headless chicken monster. That's for today's In Focus.
Narito na ang mga balita at serbisyong hatid namin para sa Pilipino. Samahan ninyo ako mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 10 ng umaga, dito lang sa CNN Philippines.
Time now for today's In Focus here on The Source. Have you ever heard about a swimming sea cucumber called the headless chicken monster? Well, for the first time in the waters of East Antarctica, the creature was caught on camera. It was nicknamed the headless chicken monster because it looked more like a swimming chicken than a sea cucumber. New technology captured the creature in the Southern Ocean off the southwest corner of Australia. Researchers hope the rare footage will help in the effort to create a new Antarctic conservation zone. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.
Tapos ang dagdag pasahe sa mga bus at jeep. Solicitor General Jose Calina aapela kaugnay ng pagbasura ng Makati RTC sa petisyon ng DOJ na ipaaresto si Senador Trillanes. Usapang hiwalayan sa ating serbisyo ngayon, proseso ng annulment, alamin. World-class Pinoy singer na si Jed Madela handa na para sa kanyang 15th anniversary concert. Humihingi ng dagdag singil ang mga UV Express. Ito ay matapos aprubahan ang pagtaas ng pamasahe sa mga jeep at bus. Hinihiling ng mga UV driver at operator na magkaroon ng 2 pisong kada dagdag singil kada kilometro sa pamasahe. Dinidinig ngayon ng mga transport regulator ang petisyon. Samantala, sa LTFRB ngayon dinidinig ang motion for reconsideration para ipagpaliban ang pagpapatupad ng taas pasahe sa mga bus at jeepney. Gayon din ang petisyon sa taas singil sa mga UV Express. Nasa Quezon City ang aming correspondent na si Trisha Tirada. Trisha, ano na ang napag-usapan at may naresolba na ba?
Yes, Shari, so ngayon hindi pa umuusad yung pag-uusap tungkol nga doon sa motion for reconsideration na isasampa pa lang ng grupo na tinatawag na United Filipino Consumers and Commuters at maging ng isang concerned citizen sa katauhan ni Arlis Acaw mula Region 5. Tuloy na tuloy yung pagsasampa nila o paghahain nila ng motion for reconsideration kaugnay nga ng nakaambang pagtataas ng pasahe sa jeep. Kuman galing sa Region 5, si Acaw ay siya ang mismong maghahain nitong MR dahil nga alam niya na dahil sa nakaambang pagtaas ng pasahe dito sa Metro Manila ay magsusunod-sunod na nga ang pagre-request ng iba't iba pang rehiyon para sa pagtataas ng kanilang mga pasahe. At magiging domino effect nga daw ito dahil kapag nagtaasan na raw ang pasahe sa transportasyon ay magtataasan na rin daw ang presyo ng bilihin, lalo na ang mga raw materials ay inaangkat sa iba't ibang lugar. Bagaman naiintindihan daw nila ang pasakit na dala ng taas ng presyo ng langis sa mga tsuper, sabi naman ni Acaw ay may kinikita pa rin naman daw ang mga driver. At ang nakakaawa daw dito ay yung mga mamamayan na talaga namang nasa laylayan talaga, naipunan na talagang hirap na hirap at malaking bagay para sa kanila itong piso na dagdag sa pasahe. Sherry?
Pero Trisha, kailan kaya magdedesisyon ng LTFRB tungkol sa apilang yan sa pasahe ng jeep at bus?
Sherry, bali ngayong umaga ay isasampa lamang na nila itong MR at kapag nasampa na nila o naihain na nila ang kanilang motion for reconsideration ay magkakaroon pa ng panahon para dinggin ng LTFRB yung kanilang MR. So dahil sa nangyaring ito, posibleng pansamantalang maantala o tuluyang maantala yung pagpapatupad ng dagdag na pasahe pagdating ng November 6. Sherry?
Oo, so sa ngayon hindi pa, naka-hold pa yan. What about yung UV Express, Trisha?
Sherry, ngayon nga ay nandito tayo rin sa hearing ng motion naman ng mga UV Express operators at drivers sa dagdag pasahe para sa UV Express. Ngayon, ongoing pa rin ang diskusyon dito at pinag-uusapan nga nila at dinidepensahan ng mga operators at drivers kung bakit nila kailangan magtaas ng pasahe sa UV Express. Sherry?
Maraming salamat, Trisha Tirada, nag-uulat mula sa tanggapan ng LTFRB. Kaugnay po niya ng ating issue sa ngayon. Pabor ba kayo na taasan din ang pamasahe sa mga UV Express? Oras na para boses nyo naman ang aming pakinggan. Bukas na po ang aming Facebook Live para sa inyong mga komento. Samantala, hindi muna ipapatupad ngayong araw ang paglalagay ng mga suggested retail price sa bigas. Ito ang inanunsyo ng Agriculture Department. Sa halip ay ipapatupad na lang umano ito simula sa Sabado. Ayon kay Agriculture Secretary Manny Piñol, humingi ang mga stakeholder ng rice industry ng 3 pang araw para ihanda ang mga sign o mga palatandaan na gagamitin sa mga retail outlet. Bukod pa dito, tatanggalin na rin ang mga special name ng iba't ibang mga bigas katulad ng Sinandomeng, Super Angelica at yummy rice. Papangalanan na lamang ang mga ito bilang regular milled, well-milled, premium at special. Ayon pa sa kalihim, nasa 39 pesos kada kilo ang presyo ng local regular milled rice, 44 pesos ang well-milled, 47 pesos ang premium rice, 39 pesos ang imported premium na may halong broken grains at 43 pesos naman ang imported premium. Ipinagutos din ng DA na tukuyin ng mga retailer ang pinagkukunan nila ng kanilang bigas. Kakaharapin ng sinumang hindi susunod ang parusa, katulad ng pagkansila ng lisensya para magbenta at mag-angkat. Alamin naman natin ang reaksyon ng mga nagbibenta ng bigas. Nasa isang palengke sa Mandaluyong City ang aming correspondent na si Rex Remitio. Rex, anong sentimiento ng mga nagtitinda ng bigas sa ipapatupad na SRP?
Ayon sa mga nagtitinda ng bigas na ating nakausap, sana raw ay patas ang pagpapatupad nito. Ibig sabihin, sana ipataw rin ito sa mga pinagkukuhanan nilang nagsusupply sa kanila ng bigas. Kasi malamang ay lalong lilit raw yung kanilang kikitain kung iman raw sila'y malugi o magsara. Lalo na kung bababa raw ang presyo ng kanilang ibebenta at mataas pa rin yung kuha nila sa mga supplier. Ang ibig sabihin noon ay mas malihit yung kanilang profit o yung maiuwi nilang kita mula doon sa kanilang ibinibenta. Kasi lalo na raw kung bababa yung presyo ng kanilang ibinibenta, no? At mataas pa rin yung kuha nila sa mga supplier. Aniya, maganda raw na ang SRP kung patas ang implementasyon nito dahil bababa ang presyo ng bigas. Ibig sabihin kasi mas mababa rin nila yung benta nila doon sa mga consumer at mas madali itong mauubos. Sana raw ay mas maging mahigpit rin ang implementasyon nito sa lahat ng retailer o nagtitinda ng bigas. Ito'y upang masiguradong walang ibang nagtitinda ang mas makalalamang ng kita sa kanila. Itong SRP, no, bukod dun sa mga presyo na bago na nabanggit po kanina, pati rin yung mga karambatang parusa, ay ipatutupad ito sa Metro Manila at mga katabing lalawigan muna o yung tinatawag na Greater Manila area. Pag-uusapan pa kung ano yung mga SRP doon sa mga grocery at sa iba pang rehiyon sa bansa. Cherry.
Rex, alam nila ang parusa. Anong reaksyon nila sa parusa?
Ang sabi nila ay sana'y maging mas mahinahon, no, at mas maging kumbaga careful doon sa pagpapatupad nitong bagong parusa yung mga kawani ng pamahalaan dahil syempre sila kumbaga isa rin naman sila sa mga consumer, hindi lamang sila retailer kundi yung iba raw sa kanila ay isang tukarin bawat araw, no. At nakausap rin natin yung ibang mga consumer kanina, ikinatuwa naman nila ito dahil syempre mas magiging mura yung bibili nilang bigas. Ibig sabihin mas marami silang may sasaing at may hain sa kanilang mga hapagkainan. Yun nga lang syempre, may mga kababayan rin tayong kahit nagmura ito, hindi pa rin kaya. Kung kaya't yung bigas na binibenta pa rin ng National Food Authority yung kanilang binibili. Aniya, kahit man raw minsan ay di kaaya-aya yung lasa, ay mas mainam na raw ito dahil nakatitipid naman sila. Cherry.
Maraming salamat, Rex Remitio, nag-uulat at nagmomonitor ng presyo ng bigas. Samantala, tagumpay ng hustisya at demokrasya. Ganito inilarawan ni Senador Antonio Trillanes ang pagbasura ng korte sa hiling ng Justice Department na ipaaresto siya. Sa resolusyong inilabas ni Judge Andres Soriano ng Makati Regional Trial Court 148, nakasaad na final and executory na ang pag-dismiss sa kasong kudeta ni Trillanes nang gawaran siya ng amnestiya noong 2011. Nakalagay din dito na alinsunod sa saligang batas ang proklamasyon ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na nagpapawalang bisa sa amnestiya ni Trillanes. Pero kumbinsido si Judge Soriano na nag-apply para sa amnestiya ang senador base sa mga ebidensyang ipinakita niya sa korte.
Tatandaan natin itong araw na ito. At nagwagi ang tama, nagwagi ang hustisya, nagwagi ang rule of law, nagwagi ang demokrasya. At isang tao lang ang gumawa niyan. Kaya itong si Judge Soriano, tayo po ay nabubuhayan ng loob na meron pong pag-asa dito po sa ating bayan and he is personified by Judge Soriano.
Hindi pa tapos ang laban. Ito naman ang mensahe ng Malacanang sa kampo ni Senador Antonio Trillanes. Sa panayam ng CNN Philippines, sinabi ni Presidential Spokesman at Chief Presidential Legal Counsel Sal Panelo, maghahain ng motion si Solicitor General Jose Calida sa Court of Appeals para mabaliktad ang desisyon ng Makati RTC Branch 148.
Precisely, the court said the proclamation voiding his amnesty is void. So, what will be the legal basis for Trillanes to be shouting with joy?
Okay, so you're saying na walang basehan to say that this is a victory for Mr. Trillanes?
Well, it's a third victory, or it's an empty victory.
Hindi pa tuluyang makakahinga ng maluwag si Senador Trillanes kahit na ibinasura na ng korte ang hiling na ipaaresto siya. Yan ay ayon kay dating senador at Armed Forces Chief Rodolfo Biazon. Sa panayam sa The Source, sinabi ni Biazon, problema pa rin ng kampo ng senador ang pagpapawalang bisa sa amnestiya niya.
First issue is the issue of him being arrested. All right? But the second issue, and to me, that is more fundamental to the principle of check and balance, which is the sharing of power in the grant of amnesty between the legislature and the executive. As a matter of fact, it does not even stop there. It can still go up to the Supreme Court, which is now the case.
Samantala, para naman kay Father Ranhilio Aquino, miyembro ng Consultative Committee na inatasang mag-review ng saligang batas, dapat ipinaubaya na lang ng dalawang korte sa Korte Suprema ang kaso ni Trillanes.
Judge Alameda and Judge Soriano would have avoided this problem by deferring to the Supreme Court that is presently passing upon the constitutionality of the proclamation itself.
Muling mapapanood ang panayam kina Biazon at Father Aquino sa The Source mamayang 2:00 ng hapon at 7:30 ng gabi. Sa iba pang balita, sinampahan ng kasong diskwalifikasyon ni Attorney Ferdinand Topacio ang re-electionist na si Senador Coco Pimentel. Inihain ni Attorney Topacio ang petisyon sa COMELEC kahapon. Nakasaad dito na dapat umanong ikansila o tanggihan ng COMELEC ang inihaing Certificate of Candidacy ni Pimentel. Ito ay dahil labag sa batas ang pag-upo ng isang senador ng mahigit 2 termino. Binigyang diin ni Topacio na nagsimula ang unang termino ni Pimentel ng paboran ng Senate Electoral Tribunal na siya ang ika-12 naihalal na senador noong 2007 election sa halip na si Senador Miguel Zubiri, habang ang ikalawang termino naman niya ay nang manalo siya noong 2013 elections. Sinasika pa rin po namin kunin ang pahayag ni Senador Coco Pimentel tungkol dito. Kayo ay nasa newsroom ngayon. Para sa mga kababayan natin sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, mapapanood nyo rin kami sa cnnphilippines.com, pati na rin sa aming Facebook page na CNN Philippines. Abangan ang ating talakayan ngayong umaga. Pag-usapan natin ang annulment. Ano nga ba ang mga grounds o batayan na pwedeng maghiwalay ang mag-asawa? Kung may tanong kayo sa aming panauhin, ipadala sa aming Facebook Live. At mga pulis tumulong sa isang pamilyang ilang araw nang naglalakad. Kayo ay nasa newsroom ngayon. kasal ay isang habang buhay na kasunduan na pagsasama ng mag-asawa. Ito rin ang pundasyon ng pamilya na naaayon sa simbahan at sa batas. Pero minsan, may mga seryosong dahilan kung bakit nauuwi sa hiwalayan ang pagsasama. Sa ilang pagkakataon, may mga kaso rin kung saan sa simula pa lang maituturing ng invalid ang kasal. At dito pumapasok ang proseso ng annulment. Ano nga ba ito at sino ang mga pwedeng sumailalim sa annulment ayon sa batas? Yan po ang ating tatalakayin ngayong umaga. Panauhin natin si Attorney Maria Flora Falcon, isang family law practitioner. Attorney, okay, usapang annulment. Medyo maraming technical dito, no? Issues dito sa annulment. Pero pag-usapan natin yung isang sangay ng annulment, yung tinatawag na psychological incapacity, no? Ano ba yung mga, kasi yung iba to make it null, yung mga underage, no? Nagsinungaling sa edad, yung mga ganon, hindi muna natin tatalakayin ngayon. Doon muna tayo sa psychological incapacity. Ano po ba yung mga nasa ilalim ng psychological incapacity?
Base sa Article 36 of our Family Code, ito yung mga actually combination of factors. Merong drug addiction, alcoholism, yung nambababae o nanlalalaki, pero wala talagang isang meaning. But we can say na ito yung pag ang isang asawa ay hindi marunong mag-comply sa kanyang essential marital obligations. Ano-ano yung mga essential marital obligations? Ito yung magbigay ng pagmamahal, loyalty mo sa asawa mo, kailangan mag-procreate kayo. So kung may refusal to procreate, pwede ring maging ground yon. Tapos magsuporta sa mga bata at sa asawa. So yun ang mga sangkap ng marital obligation.
Kumbaga, yung trabaho mo bilang isang asawa, yung obligasyon mo bilang isang asawa, hindi mo nagagampanan.
Yes.
Pwede yung i-file under psychological incapacity.
Yes.
Pero paano mo mapapatunayan ito?
Kailangan maging specific ka sa mga instances. Kailangan very detailed yung narration mo. Kaya nga pag nagkakaroon ng psychological evaluation, talagang from childhood to courtship, to being steady, lahat yan.
Kumbaga, kailangan mong patunayan kung halimbawang irresponsable siya.
Yes.
Mula pa nung nagsimula kayo, ganito. So, ano yun? Dapat mangalap ng ebidensya yung isang
Pero ang importante,
spouse?
from the time of the celebration of the marriage, it existed. So we have to prove na nandun na siya nung kinasal kayo.
Paano kung
na
wala?
lumalabas na yung mga manifestations.
Paano kung lumabas lang? Like halimbawang suporta ng pamilya, hindi mo naman alam yun. Or yung procreation, habang kinasal lang kayo, hindi ba? Tapos halimbawang ayaw niyang magtalik. Ganun.
Kahit naging manifest siya during marriage, pwede yon. Basta you have to prove na nung may mga indicators na nung beginning pa lang. Parang, minsan sinasabi, attorney, akala ko kasi magbabago. Pero nakita na actually, nung mag-steady pa lang sila, na medyo lasenggo to, or medyo mahilig sa babae.
Paano mo yun gagawa ng ebidensya? May mga witnesses o ano yun?
Yes, kailangan natin ng witnesses. Usually yung mutual friend ng asawa. Tapos kailangan mo ring pumunta sa psychologist para i-assess kayo. Kasi this is a medical term or, in the realm of psychology, na kailangan yung expert mismo ang magsabi. Kasi minsan, ito na pala yung indicators, nasa harap na natin, hindi pa natin alam.
Ano yung proseso? Saan pupunta? Anong mga dokumentong kailangan ng isang gusto magpaanak?
First, kailangan i-present yung marriage contract. And then yung birth certificates ng mga anak. Tapos, usually the psychological report, i-attach na natin sa petition. At kung meron mga kasunduan, pwede na rin i-attach. Para ang maiwan na lang na issue sa nullity court, yun na lang nullity case. Mas madali yun. Kung mag-agree na kayo, or lalo na sa mga matagal nang magkahiwalay. Minsan, nag-agree na sila na, ito na ang hatian natin, ito na yung suporta ng mga bata. So, yung kasal nyo na lang ang pag-uusap.
Ano bang mga advantages? Bakit ka pa magpapa-annul? May iba kasi naghihiwalay na lang, no? Hindi na lang nag-uusap, hindi na lang nagkikita. Bakit ka pa magpapa-annul? May mga nagsasabi, mahal pa, no? May proseso pa.
Pero maganda yung kung gusto mong magpakasal ulit. At saka rin may closure para din yung property assets nyo, yung conjugal property of gains or yung absolute community of property, ma-cut off na para yung utang niya hindi mo na utang, mas clean yung moving forward, hindi na talaga kayo isa.
Ano kadalasan ang mga dahilan ng mga Pilipino sa annulment?
Kadalasan yung pambababae or refusal to give support. Yung iba talaga hindi mahirap magkuhanan ng suporta kahit may mga bata.
Ano pong mensahe ninyo dun sa mga nag-iisip na magpa-annul?
I would advise siguro na magpa-annul tayo para mas malinis. Para maayos din ang ating pamumuhay, na wala tayong excess baggage. Tapos yung mga bata, alam din nila yung pwesto nila. Tapos para makapagbagong buhay din tayo. Mas maganda na yun na hindi tayo forever nakakabit sa asawa natin na wala naman na talagang marriage. Of course, that is subject to your religious conviction. So nasa sa inyo na yun. Iba naman ang church annulment. Ibang usapan yun.
Oo. Attorney Flora, maraming pong salamat sa inyong paliwanag.
Okay, thank you, Cherry.
Para naman sa ating Good One segment, ang segment kung saan binibigyan pugay natin ng mga kaugalian, tagumpay at kahangahangang katangian ng mga Pilipino. Storya ng malasakit ang ibibida namin sa inyo ngayong araw. Tinulungan ng ilang mga pulis sa Samar ang isang pamilyang 3 araw nang naglalakad. Mula sa Baybay City patungo ng bayan ng Allen na mahigit 300 kilometro ang layo. Ayon sa mga otoridad, dumaan si Ricardo Bernales Sr. at ang kanyang 7 mga anak sa checkpoint sa bayan ng Pinabakdaw. Napansin daw nilang pagod at gutom na ang mga ito kaya pinakain at pinagpahinga muna nila ang pamilya sa stasyon. Kwento ni Bernales, nais nilang magsimula ng bagong buhay sa bayan ng Allen matapos silang iwanan ng kanyang asawa. Wala raw silang pera kaya napagdesisyonan na lang nilang maglakad. Matapos pakainin at pagpahingahin, binigyan ng mga pulis ng perang pamasahe ang pamilya at pinabaunan ng maliit na halaga. Sa biyahe patungong bayan, nilibre naman sila ng pamasahe ng driver ng bus. Bagamat may mga magsasabing tungkulin naman daw talaga ng pulis ang tumulong, sadya pong malasakit at kabaitan pa rin ang ipinakita ng mga pulis sa Samar. Pati na rin yung bus driver na hindi na naningil ng pamasahe. Bukod sa pera, binigyan niyo din po ng pag-asa ang isang ama na maitaguyod ang buhay ng kanilang pamilya. Kayo pong mga pulis sa Pinabakdaw Municipal Police Station ay talagang maituturing na mga good one. Abangan! World Singing Champion Jed Madela puspusan na ang paghahanda para sa kanyang nalalapit na concert. Sino kaya ang kanyang special guest? Tutok lang dito sa newsroom ngayon. Kayo ay nasa newsroom ngayon dito sa CNN Philippines. Bida na naman ang galing ng Pinoy sa paggawa ng pelikula. Tampok kasi ang likha ng premyadong direktor na si Lav Diaz sa Vienna International Film Festival o Biennale. Kinumisyon si Diaz ng mga festival organizer para sa isang short film. Ang pamagat ng pelikula, The Boy Who Chose the Earth. Gaganapin ang Vienna International Film Festival mula October 25 hanggang November 8 sa Austria. Ipagdiriwang naman ng singer-songwriter na si Jed Madela ang kanyang ika-15 taon sa industriya sa pamamagitan ng isang konsyerto na pinamagatang Higher Than High. Daraos yan sa November 16 sa Araneta Coliseum. Asahan na ang grand vocal showdown dahil makakasama ni Jed ang nagbabalik kapamilya na si Asia's songbird Regine Velasquez. Siyempre, nagbigay din ng sample si Jed sa amin dito sa CNN Philippines.
I know there is more to just being me. I know deep inside there is more to me. 'Cause I'm more than a superhero. More than a superhero. I know I am more than the skin or hair. More than the biceps, more than the power stare. I can strongly feel my purpose in my life.
At kanina, tinanong namin kayo kung pabor ba kayo na taasan din ang pamasahe sa mga UV Express. Ang sabi ni Allen Medina, wala pang kautusan tungkol dito. May mga UV Express nang nagtaas ng singil. Doon daw sa Rizal area, nagmahal na ang pamasahe noong unang linggo ng Oktubre. Hindi po legal yon. Pabor naman sa taas pasahe si June Raborar. Komento niya, kung magtataasan ang bus at ang jeep, ganun din dapat sa UV Express para patas. Marami pong salamat sa inyong mga komento. Yan ang mga balita at serbisyong hatid namin para sa Pilipino. Samahan niyo ako muli bukas. Ako si Cherry Mercado. At ito ang Newsroom ngayon. Susunod na ang Sports Desk.